close to 15. Hopefully you give enough time for questions.
Good afternoon. Does everybody have their clicker? Okay, so we're going to start off right away with a question. Which of these is an innovation? Which of these is an innovation? Does everybody log their vote? How many of you have a pair of these? Okay. So, any last votes? What are we at?
We're 58.
58. We're missing quite a few, so that's probably pretty close to what we have here.
Okay,
Let's see what we got.
Should I go
You're all set.
Hold on. Why?
Oops, sorry.
So we've got 41% that think the potato peeler is an innovation, 59% that think the hander pants are an innovation. So let's look at which ones we really think are an innovation and why they are. We think the potato peeler is an innovation because it's adding value to the marketplace. It's creating value for somebody that people are willing to pay for. And so we really want to make the distinction between innovation and invention. The hander pants are more of an invention that might be bought as a gimmick, but don't really add a whole lot of value to society. For example, the potato peeler that we used to know was sold for 99 cents, right? Remember this potato peeler? There was a woman who had arthritis, and it was really hard to peel her carrots. So her husband collaborated with a designer to create a potato peeler that she could use that was easier on her wrists. And they created the OXO brand and revolutionized the whole cookware industry. And so this really was seen as adding value to a lot of people, and they sure as heck charged a premium for it. And so this is what we're calling innovation. So,
Take it over, Gary.
Okay, just to introduce our team. Luke, I'm Gary, Aaron, Chris, Ravi, Jim, and Tammy. Sorry about that. Trying to get the...
Here, wait.
Okay, we've got, before going on, we want to show something. Several of us on our team and in the audience are affiliated with the Kern Foundation, the Kern
A growing number of universities, businesses, and authors are recognizing the need for the United States to produce engineers with an entrepreneurial mindset. With the help of Daniel and Alicia, two students who just graduated with engineering degrees, we'll look at what this mindset is and what it isn't. Daniel and Alicia received their degrees from a university that teaches traditional engineering, with an emphasis on problem solving and technical acumen. When they arrive at their new jobs, they receive the specifications and get straight to work. They apply the technical skills they acquired in college and even demonstrate some innovation, but that's where their engagement ends. Daniel and Alicia focused on the problem at hand and executed the task they were given, but they did not engage the company's customers or anticipate new market opportunities. Eventually, global competition eroded the company's market share until it was no longer profitable. Could an entrepreneurial mindset have led to a more positive outcome? This time, Daniel and Alicia began by asking questions. Recognizing the problem as an opportunity, they talk with customers about their needs. The answers make them reconsider the purpose of the new specifications. The feedback leads them to the realization that there are different markets. When they analyze societal and economic trends, it becomes clear that one market segment will grow. The specification handed to them is not the answer. Instead, they propose an alternate technology that better serves the growing market. In this process, Daniel and Alicia simultaneously evaluated the need, the market, societal trends, and technical feasibility. Now that they understand the full range of opportunities, Daniel and Alicia collaborate with each other and with colleagues to design a product that exceeds the specifications, achieves cost savings, and expands into new business opportunities. They exhibited the attributes of entrepreneurially minded engineers, helping their employer meet with commercial success.
We hope you enjoyed that, and we encourage you to check out the Kern Entrepreneurship Education Network. It's about an entrepreneurial mindset, and this quote on innovation, the creation and delivery of customer value in the marketplace by SRI International, that came out, that's from this book by Carlson and Wilmot. Kurt Carlson was one of the speakers at one of the annual Keen events. I think that was in 2007. We like that definition very much. Now, if we go and think about invention versus innovation, to pick up on what Luke introduced, I would argue all of our students and we as faculty are inventors. Much of the general public has an inventive streak, but innovation is about creating value about customers. And we argue that there's a high activation energy, a high barrier to get from invention to innovation. Why is that? A few things come to mind. It's not just about technology. Many people argue a lot of products fail, not because of bad engineering, but because of everything else. Failure to anticipate markets, lack of intellectual property protection. There's a whole laundry list of things. A few are listed here, but in our brainstorming session, we developed this word cloud with Mary's help, and just want you to take maybe 15 seconds before we transition to our last portion here and think about those words, the meaning of those words, and the broader kind of holistic view of educating an engineer today, and perhaps how important many of these sorts of things are. So I'll turn it over to Aaron to wrap up.
So our educational innovation was essentially to foster an entrepreneurial mindset in engineering students. The idea that they should learn how to take an idea from concept to commercialization. If we can model that process for them, they'll be better prepared for the workplace. And one of the ways that you can do this is through selection of ill-defined or ambiguous problems, and it makes students realize not only that there are non-technical skills that they need to develop, but there's also a greater engagement of them with their technical content so that they can better develop the product or service. So some of the successes that our team talked about in each of our courses, where we've included some aspects of trying to inspire the entrepreneurial mindset, is we have developed a lot of new educational content. It's related to an area of emerging national need. If you consider looking at some of the Keen videos or other videos, this is something that's also been identified in a lot of the NAE documents and that sort of thing. You can use a lot of examples and case studies to help students understand that process from concept to commercialization. Another thing we've been able to take advantage of is incubators on campus and doing a better job helping our students work effectively in teams, particularly working effectively in teams on ambiguous problems. And it also allows you to bring in more projects that are relevant for industry. The challenges of implementing modules or aspects of courses that try to instill the entrepreneurial mindset is that often you can only do this maybe in an elective or a track within a major or in a minor. It's hard to touch every student in a curriculum. It does give an atypical student experience. Some of the things that students are unhappy with is that if you are trying to get them to work on ambiguous problems, they're going to fail sometimes. They're going to get sort of infrequent or tepid feedback, as some students complain about. The content of the course can be driven by, content that you're required to cover, or it can be driven by these student-originated projects, and that can lead to some things maybe not checking every box that's required by ABET. One of the things about having our students address customer needs is you have to cultivate their empathy and show them that it's worth it to consider customer needs and societal needs in their design, and early. Also, it's hard to sustain these course modifications if only one person at the institution is really invested in it. So it takes really building a team of colleagues who will carry this through the curriculum. I'm just going to skip quickly here. We decided assessment is very difficult. It's very hard to determine the impact you're having on student preparedness and student skill sets when you're trying to instill the entrepreneurial mindset, but there are some rubrics and inventories out there that you can use. And so all of us are doing different scale-up efforts at our institutions, and so I just list some of them here. And we're all, I think, going to stay in touch and work together to try to build on our collective expertise at this point. And so in the interest of time, I'll leave you with this word map and ask you, are these part of your students' experience in their engineering curricula? We're out of time.
Questions, I guess?
The systems team is supposed to ask a question. Where are they? Ah.
Hi. I know you didn't have time to go through all the different innovations, but for those of you who are on the team, did you ever sort of think about following up and finding out whether if you provide students with this kind of experience in their education, are employers happier with these students in the long term?
There's not a whole lot of data, but a lot of employers are looking for students that have this entrepreneurial mindset. I know, like, for us in particular at New Mexico State, we have companies like Intel that are donating money for these kind of efforts because they think they have students that are going to help them add more value to what they're doing. So it's something that companies are looking for, but I think that there isn't a whole lot of long-term data on that.
And also at our board of visitors specifically requested, who's a group of industrial partners that support the university, specifically requested more of the classes that deal with interdisciplinary learning and product development.
I work in innovation and entrepreneurship too at University of Pittsburgh, and I was kind of curious as to whether there's any general consensus as to when these courses should be inserted. I know some people feel freshman is best, some people wait until senior capstone. Is there like a consensus amongst you as to should it be throughout the whole entire curriculum or in a specific year?
Yeah, it should be throughout the curriculum, and I think it can be with, using project-based learning, so client-driven projects and product development and or product or process development, whatever it may be. I think it can be throughout the curriculum. It just takes small tweaks in the courses.
Yeah, just to echo that, I think in our discussions, we concluded that seniors design, for example, is just a bit late to have a needs-driven innovation mindset. There are ways, some fairly straightforward, to begin in the freshman engineering experience, starting to ask a few questions that at least peripherally touch on some of these issues. So bottom line, I think integration, if possible, is the best way.
And you could actually do this really early. Right now we're working with our middle schools and high schools on a program called InnoVenture, where they're looking at the technical problem as well as the business model. And students are starting to see the broader picture along with the technology.
And just to add one other thing, this can go down into the STEM preparedness curriculum. Kurt Carlson will argue there's a girls' school in Palo Alto, 6th through 8th graders, a middle school, where they're using these kinds of themes in developing ideas for businesses. So this is not something that we have to wait for at some specific point in time.
Okay, thank you very much.